What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and today we have some very exciting Fantastic Four news. We're going to be talking about a brand new report today, and we're also going to be talking about the upcoming D23 Expo held by Disney, where we should be getting a lot of Marvel content, including possibly an announcement for the Fantastic Four cast. Now, at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, Kevin Feige revealed that the Fantastic Four is going to be kicking off the MCU's Phase 6 on November 8th, 2024. So we basically have pretty much 2 years to go. However, Marvel Studios has actually been working on the Fantastic Four for quite some time now. Marvel Studios over a year ago announced that director Jon Watts, the director of the Spider-Man Homecoming trilogy and recently Spider-Man No Way Home, which is one of the biggest box office movies of all time, was supposed to direct Fantastic Four. They announced that he would be directing the movie. However, after Spider-Man No Way Home came out, Jon Watts backed down because he needed a break from superhero movies. And he made one of the biggest movies of all time, Spider-Man No Way Home, and leading up to that had to be stressful with people like me leaking just about every detail of the movie. But one can understand how he would need a break from directing superhero films after directing a crazy awesome franchise. But now we have news that a new director has been chosen from Marvel Studios, and it actually lines up with some other rumors that we've heard recently. Now, a lot of people have been reporting on this today. However, a few days ago, The Direct actually reported on this rumor first. I believe they were first, at least. On August 24th, they said, according to The Direct sources, WandaVision director Matt Shakman is signed on to direct Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four, hitting theaters on November 8th, 2024. Shakman will replace Spider-Man director Jon Watts at the helm following his departure from the project in April 2022. Now, I actually think that Matt Shakman is a really good choice. I think he would do great at directing the Fantastic Four. I think WandaVision was amazing. It's one of my favorite Disney Plus shows. That alongside of Loki, of course. And a lot of people really liked WandaVision. Now, of course, the Fantastic Four is going to be a very different movie. And of course, they're going to have writers assigned to write the movie as well. So it's not just going to be Matt Shakman. But as far as the direction goes, I think he's a pretty good choice. Now, today, other outlets are reporting on this news as well. Deadline reported this morning, after playing a big part in helping launch the Marvel Studios limited series WandaVision, Matt Shakman may be ready to help launch one of the studio's prized movie properties. Sources tell Deadline that Shakman is in early talks to direct Marvel's new Fantastic Four pick. Rumors have been running rampant in recent weeks that he was in the mix for the job, and insiders are now telling Deadline that while a formal offer hasn't been presented, early discussions have begun and that things are headed in the right direction. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige is producing. Marvel could not be reached for comment. So this further backs up the Direct's report that Matt Shakman is indeed going to be the director of the Fantastic Four movie. Now here's something that is really interesting, and we are going to be talking about the cast of the Fantastic Four and D23 in just a bit. But earlier on in the year, when Jon Watts stepped down from directing the Fantastic Four, Deadline actually reported that they would be shocked if a choice is made before Labor Day, referring to a new director for the Fantastic Four. However, Labor Day is September 5th, so we are before Labor Day, so it seems like Marvel Studios has made their choice before Labor Day, and this is a good sign. Two reasons it's a good sign. One is that if they are making this decision before Labor Day, they must feel really good about Matt Shakman directing the new Fantastic Four in the MCU. Obviously, they have met with him. He shared his vision for the movie, Marvel shared their vision for the movie, and they both are kind of on the same page and like the direction that Matt Shakman would take the film. They clearly liked it a lot if they've pretty much made their decision before Labor Day. And that's awesome. That means Marvel has faith in him, so hopefully the movie is going to be fantastic under his direction. But here's something else that is really exciting. It seems like Marvel Studios wanted to make a decision before D23. Now, I briefly stated this before, but if you're not familiar with what the D23 Expo is, it's a 3-day event held by Disney where there are different companies inside of them like Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Pixar, etc. get their own panels and get their own time to talk about current and future projects. It's pretty much like a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, although I believe Marvel Studios gets a little bit more time at D23. But essentially, hopefully we get the same reveals, and we're hoping and we're assuming that we're going to get the entirety of Phase 6 revealed. At SDCC, they revealed all of Phase 5, but only a little bit of Phase 6. But we assumed that they were only going to reveal a part of it because they have to release more things at D23 to make D23 exciting. And of course, we're looking forward to the new titles that haven't been announced yet. However, there is a possibility that they could give us more information about the Fantastic Four, because it does seem like Marvel Studios wanted to lock down the director before D23 happened so they could possibly make an announcement. This is a great sign, but here's the other thing. The Fantastic Four is Kevin Feige's baby. He has stated many times how important Marvel's first family is to him. So he's been working on this for a while, and he's going to be making sure this movie is done right. And there's only about 2 years left until the movie, which means they could have already actually cast some actors as part of the Fantastic Four. They could actually already have the villain for the Fantastic Four film as well. And since Marvel had John Watts directing the film over a year ago and now has Matt Shakman about to jump on the project, I'm assuming they have a general outline of what the story is actually going to be in the film. So I'm sure they know who the villain is going to be, and I'm sure they know, or at least have a general idea, of the actors they want to play these roles, and I'm sure that they've already talked to them about it. And one thing that's pretty cool and also very interesting is that it seems like if Kevin Feige comes across somebody who is perfect for a particular role, he will give them that role right then and there. For example, I once interviewed Trin Tran, an executive producer at Marvel Studios, and I talked about the first time that she met with Haley Steinfeld about the role of Kate Bishop. Her and Kevin Feige met with her one single time, and in that meeting, Kevin Feige offered her the role of Kate Bishop because she was perfect. They didn't meet with anybody else. So if Kevin Feige meets with somebody and determines that they are perfect for a role, he will give them that role. And since Kevin Feige has been focused on the Fantastic Four for a very long time now, I'm talking years, I'd actually be shocked if he hasn't picked the cast for the Fantastic Four yet. Now, I'm not really assuming they're going to present us with the cast of the Fantastic Four at D23. However, we know that they needed to save some pretty big announcements for D23. And at SDCC, they announced some major projects, like the release date for the Fantastic Four, and of course, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. Those are huge announcements. So it makes you wonder what announcements could be coming at D23. And in my mind, I think that if Marvel Studios wants to announce something big, it would be the cast of the Fantastic Four. Now, of course, we're going to get an announcement for things like Deadpool 3 and hopefully a Mutants project. Fingers crossed on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get the director announcement and maybe even some type of a casting announcement. But that is no way confirmed. That is just my opinion, just connecting the dots here. But either way, we know Marvel Studios has some pretty big announcements in line for us at D23. So let me know what you would like to see from D23 in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.